Shalom. First and foremost, call Layim, Wakabat, La Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Arachakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David, scattered all the four corners of the earth. Now, this is definitely a spoiler alert. Um, I'm sure some of you may have went to go see it. Me myself, I still haven't seen the film yet, but I do plan on seeing it. And the film I'm talking about is the new Jurassic World Dominion. And a few videos that I have up, is what caught my ear, which ultimately caught my attention. I decided to try to do a response to it. Um and if they try to strike me for this, then I'll just definitely upload this on my Odyssey and on my BitChute. But this is some interesting information, because we all know that the globalist elite, they're set out to accomplish their goal, which is to bring forth their great reset, world domination, control. And one of the ways to accomplish that is to reduce the world's population, get the people in a vulnerable state, weaken them, get them in a desperate state, and starve a lot of people out. And one of the best ways to control the people is to control their food. And how does that relate to this movie? Well, you're gonna hear it from this woman right here. And also I heard the elder Sakaran, Elder Bishop Sakaran, he mentioned it in the beginning of the uh the apostles live stream at camp last week. And one thing this devil does is he likes to condition the minds of the people to accept certain things through what they call predictive programming. And it gets you desensitized and used to seeing and hearing, of certain uh phenomenons. All right. And once it happens in real life, you've already seen it, you've already heard it, it's already fresh in your mind, and you don't really think nothing of it. So that's what they do when they put these hidden agendas in these movies. All right, and that's why the scriptures say, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. And now we're in the midst of economic crisis, a collapse is underway. The price of food is soaring, especially among wheat products. And what you're gonna find out, and this is where the spoiler alert come in. You're gonna find out in this movie, that they pretty much in these biotechnological engineering companies, they did a lot of DNA engineering and splicing. Well, they genetically modified some locusts, and those locusts happen to be programmed to go out and eat all the organic produce all over the world. All your crops and vegetation now still organic, but they did not touch any of the food grown by the same biotech companies. So we know there's a reason behind that. This is all predictive programming. All right. This is a message from the elite. All right. Which the timing of this, shows you what it is. So without further ado, I think I'm gonna play this one first so y'all can listen. It's about a minute and 44 seconds. And then I'm gonna play Elder Bishop Sakaran give his take on what he pointed out in this film. All right. So anyway, and if you don't want to if you don't want the spoiler alert, you don't want to really you want to see it for yourself, then just back out of this video and just go watch the movie, and then you can see it for yourself. But without further ado, let's listen.
Spoiler alert. Have you seen the new Jurassic Park movie? If not, we're going to talk about it, so you may want to scroll on. So last night I went to go see Jurassic Park, and I was shocked by the whole premise of the movie. Usually it's about some dinosaurs going extinct. And while that was part of the story, the real focus on the story was world starvation and controlling our DNA. Okay, I think the company in the movie is called Biosystems, and their goal is to alter the human DNA, basically for programming people. And what they do in the movie is they program a bunch of locusts. They alter their DNA so that Biosystems plants their wheat fields, and then they program the locust to eat all the other wheat fields that are not theirs, ultimately destroying all the small farms in America. And then they go on to reaching the other continents and destroying their fields and crops as well. Now, naturally, these locusts don't bother any of the Biosystems crops, which are run by this billionaire, thus giving them the ability to control the people. Because we know if you control the food, you control the people.
And that's exactly what I just said. You control the population by controlling their food. All right, so what they're basically showing is we're going to have total domination, hence world dominion. We're going to control your food supply. The food that you're going to be allowed to eat is what we create in the lab for you. All right, we're getting rid of all the organic, all the food that's grown in the earth naturally. We're getting rid of that. And we're going to provide for you. We're going to give you food. So this man's trying to play the most high on earth. And, you know, they carry this forward because it's in the power of their hand, like it says in Micah 2. Let's get that real quick. It was never coincidental that all of a sudden, during this pandemic, you had Bill Gates and different men buying up all this farmland, all right, and then telling you that you know, we're gonna save costs and start 3D printing meat. Let's deal with the synthetic stuff, you know, and then this pandemic, takes place, and then all of a sudden we got to call off all the animals. They're getting infected, and now all your farms and food manufacturing plants are all mysteriously getting wiped out. Come on, man. This devil's at work. This is Micah 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And that's what they do. Because it's in their power to do it, they carry it out. And this all stems from the secret counsel of the wicked, which, we all know, this prayer to be delivered from, all right? Because and that secret counsel is about devising iniquity, devising evil, pitfalls, traps. All right. Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right. And this is all a conspiracy. Okay. And you jump down to verse 5 and 6. It says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? Well, we ain't got to see you. All right. You tell upon yourself. When you jump down to the verse 8, so shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. And we're in a time where the man of sin, all right, is being exposed. He's being revealed, man. Even he who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power, signs. All right, he has his little left hand prophecies, with his predictive programming, trying to be like the Most High, but all his plans is coming out as diabolical. Okay, everything that you see happen that he predicts is not because he's a prophet, it's because everything is planned out. and he's boasting to you right in your face his heart's desire, which is wicked and evil. So they put their messages right in the film. That's how proud these devils are. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. So going back up, it says they search out iniquities. All right, they have these they're wise men on the left hand side. They're scientists. All right, they're you got gene therapists and all type of people that have knowledge in different fields that they like to take control of. They have them search them out, and they put money behind their projects and they carry it forward. All right, let's they created CRISPR, so now you can have genetic altered uh babies, you know, just all type of wicked inventions. It says they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. All right. So these movies even expose that. They do all these experiments with gene technology. All right. And biosyn, no different than um, Monsanto and all these different corporations that specialize in genetically engineering organisms. And that's what they did with the locusts. And this is the guy here. What was his name? Dr. Wu, Dr. Henry Wu, him right there. And that's supposed to be one of the locusts, big ass locusts. Okay. And there was swarms of them going around eating up all the crops. So they're putting it right in your face. So let's listen to the rest of this, and then we'll play Elder Sakaran, and then we'll get a few more scriptures.
I found it ironic that the wheat was the main crop in this movie, considering all that's going on in Russia and Ukraine, and the timing of this just seemed awfully odd, or should I say coincidental. And of course, this reminds me of Monsanto and what they did to all the small farmers and suing them, saying that they stole their DNA patent that was in their crops, which is pretty hard not to do when everything has to cross-pollinate, thus controlling all of the crops. If you haven't got the message by now, world starvation is their goal. Again, when you control the food supply, you control the people. Prepare. Spoiler alert.
There it is. So world starvation, man, is what they're basically presenting to you. And I did the video yesterday on how that UN secretary pretty much was saying that it's going to get bad. Talking about world starvation, and you seeing effects of it in Sri Lanka and parts of Europe and different places where people's finna go crazy. All right, people finna get desperate. So it's starting to unravel, man. Now let's go to the Elder Sakaran. It's very short.
Out here once again giving all praise to Yahweh about Shemar Shah, about Shemar Kadosh. Let's get right into it. Any scriptures, any thoughts come to mind?
I seen the new Jurassic Park movie,
Okay.
and they were pumping genetically altered locusts that were eating natural crops, but they wouldn't touch GMO crops. And they had a company called BioNTech or something like that in there, which represented Monsanto.
Okay.
So, and they brought out how they had this big corporation that was doing that, and they had swarms of locusts going all around, killing natural crops, creating famine. Creating
yeah, well, that's called predictive programming.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you look that up?
predictive program. You got that?
And that's all that is, predictive programming. This devil coming with his own signs, like he's the Most High, because the Lord, like it says in Isaiah, that Isaiah 42. Isaiah 42, verse 9, it says, Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them. And Esau makes his predictions like he's the most high, but it's just plans all along. All right. And they just put those ideas in your head and desensitize you to it. So when it happens, you're not at marvel. All right. But this is this devil showing you right in your face that he plans to starve you out so that he can control you. We're not ignorant to it, man. All right. This man's his heart is deep, man. It's very diabolical, man. They're the wicked that the Bible speaks of, the border of wickedness. The whole world is under the control of the evil one, the wicked one. All right. But as far as the locust, we know that locust is also a sign of famine because that was one of the plagues of ancient Egypt when the Lord sent those plagues upon it. He sent locusts to clean out their crops. You can read that in let's go to Exodus, the 10th chapter, I think around the 12th verse. And it says, And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand over over the land of Egypt for the locusts, that they may come upon the land of Egypt, and eat every herb of the land which Slakia, and eat every herb of the land, even all that the hail have left. Because the Lord, he brought hail and fire upon the land. And then to clear out the rest, he sent swarms of locusts. Right, showing you that the Most High is he's terrible, man. That's why they refer to him as Alashadya. All right. And also a couple years back here in Vegas, you had swarms of locusts invade the city all over the place, man. And it was, it made national headlines. It was all over the news. And even now, when I spotted swarms of locusts, they would hide up under shaded areas away from the sun. They would be up under the gas stations, parks and stuff like that, um, parking lots, and they would be all over the place, man. It was like they was going on a world tour that year. And I remember, taking footage of it on my phone and doing lessons on it. People were, tripping out. They knew basically they saw that it was strange, which the Lord said He would, show strange wonders in the earth. All right, but I thought back then that was a sign that something like this could come, and now we're coming right into it. All right, so it wasn't coincidental that the Lord sent those locusts over here, and then a year later the Crown Royale shows up and then shuts everything down. Then it started to start a chain link reaction to the supply chain, and now here we are. So that was clearly a sign. It says, and Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind upon the land all that day and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. And the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt and rested in the coast of Egypt. Very grievous were they before them. There was no such locust as they, neither after them after them shall be such. All right, in verse 15, and this is where the famine comes in. For they covered the face of the whole earth so that the land was darkened, and they did eat every herb of the land and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left, and there remained not any green thing in the trees or in the herbs of the field through all the land of Egypt. All right. And then when you go to the New Testament, you had a prophet by the name of Agabus, where he prophesied of a famine during the time of the Acts of the Apostles. This is Acts 11 and 28, and it says, And there stood up one of them named Agabus, and signified by the Spirit that there should be great dearth throughout all the world, which came to pass in the days of Claudius Caesar. Then the disciples, every man according to his ability, determined to send relief unto the brethren which dwelt in Judea, which also they did, and sent it to the elders by the hands of Barnabas and Saul. So, they was getting ready for this famine to hit. So everybody distributed, based on the means that they had, and they helped everybody out. Everybody, got relief or aid to sustain them, through that time. They networked together, and they, 'cause we was, we're one big body. And it's gonna get like that in these times when it gets, even more hectic. Where brothers are gonna, fall on hard times. Gonna be tight for a lot of brothers. And we're gonna have to come through for each other together until Esau cuts that connection off. You know, but it's what they did back then, showing, true, sincere charity. All right, so they prepared for it. And when going back to that prophet, you look up his name, Agabus, and it goes back to Hebrew. All right, Chagah. All right, Agabus in the Greek, it goes back to Chagab, and it means locust. All right, so that was a sign, and his name was an omen that he was going to be sent to prophesy that a famine was coming. And we know that locust is a sign that a dearth or a famine is coming. So, everything is spiritual when you pay attention. And they're showing you on the left hand side that famine is coming through their predictive programming. And she pretty much, nutshelled it. And also the elder Bishop Sakaran also nutshelled it. All right. So now, we definitely got to go and actually watch the film. Okay. But we know that these are, the times that we're in. All right. And the Lord is fulfilling his word. The prophecy is speaking more than ever, man. All right. So, hey, all we can do is continue to, watch, pray, stay alert, be circumspect, redeeming the times because the days are evil. All right. Just continue to hold on and fight it out, the good fight of faith. All right. And the Lord's going to, take care of the rest. So, anyway, I'm going to end off with that. Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. To the next lesson, Shalom.